Welcome back. We to preview Saturday afternoon's Premier League match between West Ham United and Crystal Palace. Pascal, start with the home side into the match back of a 2-2 draw at Spurs last time out.
Yeah, obviously, when you go to Spurs, Allardyce, if you said you can take a 2-2 draw, he might have taken it. But, in the end, it was an absolutely crushing result for them, wasn't it? They were the better side for large parts of that game. Obviously, going 2-0 up, great header from Kouyaté, and then Sakho's volley. That was a great finish at the back post. Obviously, Danny Rose probably at fault there, put his hand up for offside and sort of stopped playing. He might not have known Sakho was behind him, but, he should be more aware there. And obviously, Sakho stuck it really, really well. But, yeah, West Ham, obviously, to not win that game from the position they were in, it's so disappointing for them. And obviously, if they had won, it would have been massive for their top four ambitions as well. They've still got an outside chance, but obviously it was a 96th minute. I think it was obviously Harry Kane with the penalty. I think it was a penalty, Alex Song. So it was a bit soft, but he did sort of have his hands on his back, and I think it's not one of those where you can say it definitely wasn't a penalty. I think it was a soft one, but I think it was a foul, and obviously Kane penalty was safe, but he stuck away the rebound. That's the sort of luck he's having at the moment, the amount of goals that he's getting, but they would have really wanted to win the game, and to not win it is a huge blow for them, and obviously they want to sort that out in this game.
Yeah, I think it was a massive blow because we're only in 4 now, aren't they? And they're 8 points off fourth. You're thinking, are they really in that race? I don't think they were ever really in it. So they were up there start of the season, weren't they? The last 4, Liverpool, United, Spurs, Southampton. It's been a tough run, hasn't it? You've got to think, if you're going to get in the top 4, you've got to beat the teams around you, and they haven't really done that. They've been pretty decent at home, but away from home, especially against the bigger teams, when you go into Spurs and you're in that position, you have to win it, don't you? Against Spurs, who weren't very good that game, were they? There's no getting away from that. But sitting in 8th, if they can finish in Europa League, top 6, top 7, then that's a good season. But I think top 4 is beyond them now, although they have got a good end to the season in terms of fixtures.
Definitely. Obviously, you mentioned it was a tough run going into this, and then obviously this is a game they'll really fancy winning because they know they've got Chelsea and Arsenal next. So this is a game they'll really want to win. And like you said, the fixtures, they do sort of lighten up a bit, in the sort of final 2 months of the season. But yeah, you mentioned their home record, it is pretty good. I think only Chelsea, Man U and Arsenal and City have won more games at home than West Ham. So, they've been pretty good at home this season. There's the boost. They've got a new player as well, Nene. He's come in, the former Paris Saint-Germain player. We don't know, how he's going to fare in the Premier League. He was playing last in Qatar, I think it was. And, he's obviously got good European pedigree. And I think Allardyce has said that he will play this week. And he's not going to start ahead of Valencia and Sakho, but with Andy Carroll injured, Carlton Cole's now injured as well. So he will get a game off the bench. But I'm not too sure how key a player he'll be for them, but obviously, he's probably a decent finish. They'll create chances from West Ham. They've got good crosses to the ball. You've got Downing, Jenkinson, Cresswell, a lot of good crosses to the ball, and I think he might sort of poach in and around the box. So it'll be interesting to see how he does.
It's probably a good game for him to come in, isn't it, as well at home? Making it in front of the fans and stuff against a Palace side who maybe a little bit short of confidence. They played well against Arsenal last time out. Obviously, it was a 2-1 defeat. Arsenal went 2-0 up, didn't they? Danny Welbeck penalty, Cazorla Welbeck won the penalty in there. It might have been outside the box. I'm not too sure if it was inside, but to go 2-0 down against Arsenal is difficult. Giroud on the score sheet as well. But the response from Palace was really good, wasn't it? That had pleased Pardew under Warnock early in the season, and you wouldn't really think that would have happened, would you? But they came back, and Glenn Murray hit the post later on, didn't he? How that stayed out. What did they score? They scored in injury time, didn't they, for the 2-1, and then they had another amazing chance later on to not score there. Was obviously a big thing, but in terms of how they played in that game, they played really well, so they can enter this confident.
Definitely. I think the Murray one, he did really well. It was quite a brave header. Obviously, the ball came in, and there was, I think, 3 players challenged for it, and he did really well to win it, and he couldn't have done much more. He was just unlucky that he hit the post and didn't go like another yard, to the left, so he was quite unlucky there, but yeah, Palace, 13th in this table. They're nowhere near clear of, danger. Obviously, since Pardew came in, they had that great run of form, didn't they? But obviously, defeat to Arsenal, 13th in the table, just 5 points above the bottom 3. So there's still a long way to go this season. You expect them that they will be able to stay up. Pardew doing a good job, and he's got a lot of talented players there. You look at their strike force, like Gale, he's scoring decent goals. They've got a lot of talented midfielders. Balassi, he's now back from the Africa Cup of Nations, sort of fully acclimatised again to England. So he should sort of really kick on, I think, in the second half of the season, because before he left for the Africa Cup of Nations, he was looking really good, wasn't he? So you expect him to kick on. They've got a lot of other talented players. So, and their away form's been good as well. They've only lost 3 times away from home all season. A lot of draws. They've had 6 draws. So I think they'll fancy themselves maybe nicking a result here. But I think if you said to Pardew you can have a draw, he'd definitely take it against the West Ham side who have been pretty good at home.
You mentioned Balassi. I think Zaha might be important as well on the other side against Arsenal. His delivery wasn't great in the end. He got in good positions, but it'd be interesting to see how he fares in this one. What's your score prediction?
Yeah, I think on a back West Ham here, they'll be absolutely devastated the way they didn't beat Spurs last minute. I think they'll be sort of, they really want to put that right this weekend. So I'm going to go for them to win 3-1.
3-1. I'm actually going to agree. I'm going to go 3-1 as well. So you both see West Ham winning this game fairly comfortably. Thanks for joining us.